Hey guys, welcome to Manifesting Better. I'm back with another video and another topic that needs to be addressed. I also have an Instagram account. The link for that is in the description box below. Coaching is also available. The link for that too is in the description box below.
Hey guys, hope you're well. So in this video, I want to talk about a few things that I wish I knew when I started my manifestation journey. So when I started my manifestation journey, there wasn't this much information available on the internet. Now, there were a lot of books from people, Neville Goddard, Joseph Murphy, and the secret books, and like there was a lot of content available in terms of books. But like now, if you see that people are talking about manifestation as a concept a lot, that wasn't available, and there weren't these many coaches available on the social media platforms, right? I think I started my journey, I got into manifestation 8 years back, and that's how like I started applying these things, and that's when I actually started getting into this deeper. So let's understand. Of course, it took me time to learn about this journey as I went ahead and I started applying these things for myself, and these are some things that I have learned. These are 5 to 6 points that I have learned, which have now accelerated my results, and it also helps me help clients a lot. Some of these things might be a little triggering, and I will just be honest that I am going to just say these right now. The thing is that it's important to understand, I don't want you to waste your time the same way that I did. There are many things that I wish I could have done differently when I started, because it would have helped me save a lot of my time. And that's my goal here. I would want to be someone from whose mistakes you can learn and you can get results faster than I did. So let's directly get into it. The last 2-3 points are very, very important. All of these points are very important. So stick to the end of the video, learn these, and let's move forward. So the first thing, patience is the fastest way to manifest. Now, when I first got into this journey, I was very, very urgent about everything. I just wanted results fast. All these results that I wanted to manifest were just a way for me to soothe my insecurities. It was just something that I needed, and the dynamic that I had with my manifestations was about getting. So how fast can I get? How fast can I just get these things? Get the person, get the money, get the situation, get the car. And it was all focused on getting, right? And when my mindset was consistently on getting, I was thinking that by focusing on that and by being very, very urgent about it, I'm actually accelerating my results, because I had read this statement from Neville Goddard that you need to have a burning desire towards manifesting this thing in your life, right? I misinterpreted it, just like many people do, into thinking that desperation, that longing, and that craving is equivalent to a burning desire, when the burning desire means a consistent promise to yourself to change, that okay, no matter what, never going to go back into the same way of thinking again, never going to sabotage my life again. What eventually happens is, the more impatient we are, the more we operate from a state of lack. The more we operate from a state of lack, the more we reek of desperation. And I will use this word, the most appropriate word for this, the more hungry we become, the more hungry for our manifestations we become. And that eventually, one, does not help us manifest what we want in the first place. And even if we do receive some movement, we keep overanalyzing it, we keep underestimating ourselves, we keep creating negative perceptions of that situation, which in itself results into us losing that thing again. So it's not really helpful to be in that situation in the first place. So just making sure that you understand that patience is not actually you delaying your results, it's you accelerating the speed of your results is going to be very important. The second one is, living in the end does not mean to hurt myself in the current moment. I will explain this with the help of an example. I was talking to one of my clients very recently. So this client is in a situation with the person where she is wanting to manifest a better outcome with him. And this person is a very nice human being. They are in a very cordial relationship. It's very platonic. There is nothing romantic right now, but she is pursuing that romantic side of that equation from her side. Now, what is happening is, in her mind, the living in the end means that she has to assume that they are together right now, which is a good definition. But let me tell you where it is going wrong. Now, when she's assuming that we are together right now, everything that they are doing, she's assuming that he is doing it because he likes her, right? And based on that, she's expecting him to act a certain way in the current moment. And when he's not actually acting that way in the current moment, she's creating one, resentment against him, 2, she's consistently assuming I'm doing something wrong. 3, she's reacting. That's not living in the end. That's just escaping the current moment, thinking that just because I have assumed something that right now exists and it should just suddenly happen, because if it won't, then I will start to react. Living in the end is actually very calm and powerful. It's totally the opposite. How it goes is, living in the end in this situation would look like, great, I know what I offer and what I bring to the table when it comes to men and relationships. I'm working on my beliefs when it comes to relationships and men. This person will come to me and we will have a beautiful relationship, or in my mind, we have this beautiful relationship. But in the front, in my physical world, in the 3D, right now, we are not there yet. And that's okay. That doesn't mean it cannot turn into that thing. It's eventually leading there. In my mind, I know what we have. I know that we are already in that dynamic. It's going to lead there. But if in this current moment he's not instantly acting as my boyfriend, I don't really have to react and create that resentment, because I don't need him to act as my boyfriend right now to feel fine. Do you see the difference between the two? One is more focused on soothing yourself by giving yourself this hope that this thing is done, because if this wouldn't be done, there wouldn't be any reason for me to feel better. The other is actually coming at it from a place of power, where you are assuming that this will work out for me because there is no reason that it wouldn't, and you are okay in the middle time whatsoever anyhow. So once you keep that in mind, it's going to be easier for you to be able to be in the space of living in the end properly, because one prerequisite of having what you want is living in the end. I will be making more content on this soon. The third thing, that everyone is you pushed out, goes to my decisions too. So when I first started to hear about the concept of everyone is you pushed out, and again, I am not going to go into this concept deeply here because it's a very huge topic and that demands its separate video, which I'm still in the works on. The reason that I haven't uploaded this video is because this would be a slightly bigger video. So I'm properly creating content in a way through which when I make this video, that it's one video for this topic that I will ever have to make, right? So I'm still working on that. It might take a few months, but it will come. Don't worry. The video for everyone is you pushed out will come. So understanding how everyone is you pushed out for me at the start was that, okay, people around me are acting based on my assumptions, right? Then it started becoming, okay, most of the times I am acting based on my assumptions and people are reflecting that, right? That was a more appropriate definition of that situation. What I did not take into account is a lot of times my decisions are everyone is me pushed out too. I will give you an example. So I was talking to one of my clients. Now, she's someone who has had 5 very terrible relationships. All relationships have resulted into her being cheated on, her not being treated right, and there have been things in her actions that she used to do which have not been ideal, where she has been sabotaging these dynamics. She has been very, very clueless to red flags too, and even when she has been seeing those red flags, she has been ignoring them, right? Because in her mind she thinks that that's what she deserves, and that's how everyone is her pushed out to. It means that the things that she gets attracted to are also based on that. Again, a topic for a different video. But how everyone is you pushed out in her place comes into account here is that now there is this guy that came into her life. The only thing special about this person when he came into her life was that he was not a cheater, that he was a normal, decent human being, right? Because he was acting as a decent human being, she had already pedestalized him. Now, in her particular situation, the more she worked on herself, the more her desire towards this person dropped, because she realized that the desire was based on her comparison, because the things that she was pedestalizing were basic things. It's just that she hadn't experienced them before. That is the reason she was pedestalizing them. So getting into that place and understanding that a lot of times the decisions that we take are also coming from our own conditioning is going to be very important, because as you change, your decisions might change, and that's fine. You should be open to growth, and you should be working on yourself from the perspective that growth is the only outcome. That should be your end goal. The next thing, action is going to be a part of the equation. In this particular instance, I'm talking about action when it comes to especially my money mindset. So when I was working on these things, I used to ask myself, so all I have to do is I just have to sit and just have to affirm and I will get money. And then I asked myself, like, if that would be true, then most people would do that and most people would get results that way, right? The more I worked on it, the more I realized that there are thousands of things that I had to work on. I had to work on posting content. I had to work on creating content in a way where I thought it is creating value. I had to talk to clients properly. I was very vigilant with coming on time. I was very vigilant with scheduling my appointments on time. I was very vigilant with how my money, like how I'm taking and managing my finances. So it was not just about sitting there and affirming. I had to be very vigilant about taking care of my taxes. I had to be very, very sure that I'm taking money in the correct through the correct platforms. So working on all these things also did come into account. It wasn't just something that, like I sat there and affirmed and the money was in my bank. I had to work on all these things in the middle. I had to hire an accountant, a CA, and people who would help me. I had to hire someone who would help me edit my videos. All these were actions that I had to take. Now, they were very easy actions once I understood how things are supposed to be done, but I still had to take those actions. And it's important to understand that taking action is going to be a part of the equation. Now, this is me talking about it from the money mindset. So don't go chase your SP based on what I said here. I have a video on that. I will link it down below. You can check it out, where I'm talking about action when it comes to a specific person. The last point that I want to discuss is not all guilt is bad. Now, this is a point that is going to be the most triggering one, because I'm going to be discussing a few things. You are either naive or ignorant. I have discussed this in a previous video, which means you either know that you are doing something wrong and you choose to do it, or you don't know that you are doing something wrong and that is why you're doing it. For example, someone who is acting based on their conditioning in terms of relationships, which is not good, and they are consistently chasing someone, they know that they shouldn't, they don't know that they shouldn't be doing it. In their opinion, that's how they should be moving forward. That's them being naive. Then someone comes along, tells them they shouldn't chase. Now, after that, it's not that they are naive, it's that they have a decision in their hands. It is a difficult decision to take, because if you have been in a pattern for years, it can sometimes be difficult to change the way that you actually move forward with it. But as you are moving forward with it, if you are still going to take the decision to chase, then you are just ignorant. You are not naive, you are ignorant. I realize that if I have been ignorant and if I have been sabotaging my life and I feel guilty later, not all the time that guilt is bad, and I don't have to sugarcoat it for myself. If I have been sitting at home, for example, missing my workouts, and now I feel lazy, lethargic, I have gained weight, and I feel guilty because of it, that's not a bad guilt. Sometimes that guilt is important. Maybe I should have worked out properly on time. Maybe I should have done these things. And maybe I can use that guilt to actually push myself forward, rather than telling myself that all guilt is fine and I should never feel guilty because everything that I do is always perfect. Because it's not. I'm a human being who will take and do actions which are wrong. And I have to make sure that I use the learnings from those actions for a better life. So keeping that in mind is going to be very important, that not all guilt is bad. A lot of times, understanding which guilt is because of ignorance and which guilt is because of naivete is going to help you differentiate between what you should soothe yourself for and where you should be tough on yourself for. So I hope this video helps, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Click the like button if you liked the video. Subscribe and turn the notifications on for more such content. Comment down your video suggestions and I will see you guys in the next one.